Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Singh Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.
February is Black History Month, but is this year's annual observance different from ones in the past and bringing back an indie celebration of music, food, and comedy in the cities? Black History Month is as much about the present and the future as it is about the past, perhaps even more so. Each February, we not only honor the achievements of those who've gone before us, but we push forward the next generation. And joining me are two people who do that each and every day. Vera Kelly is the president of the Davenport NAACP, and Kermit Thomas is an organizer of the Miss Quad Citizens Scholarship Pageant, a radio host, an Arsenal contract specialist, owner of Timerack 3 Productions, creator of the KT Loyal clothing line. I point all of this out. I know, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I point all of it out is because you are a master of so many different things, and that's kind of what you want to pass on to the next generation.
Yes, I want to pass that along. Any mistakes that I make along the way, I want to pass them so people, as they come up, they won't make the same mistakes I did, and they can progress faster than I did.
You have to be so proud of today's youth, too. I mean, I know you run into all different types of people, but today's youth seem to give you a little bit more hope for the future. Yes, they do. They're so innovative, they're so creative, and they have so much more access to so many more things than we did when I was younger. So. Yeah, very true. And Vera, you know that purely as well. Tell me how important it is for Black History Month to reach out to the youth, point to the past, but really point to the future.
Because, you know, they took Black history out of schools. So, you know, a month is not enough, but then they do.
A short month, too.
Yeah, short month. But then they do get to know where their foreparents and their parents come from and what struggle they had, you know, when they was coming through. Because, you know, like I went to college, my dad didn't get no far in 3rd grade, but he finished college after all of his kids went to school. And, you know, nowadays you can't hardly get kids to go to school. But they don't know how important it is to get an education, and then just like my counterpart here, you can set your own goals and do what you want to do.
Well, you've been very active with the Davenport Public School System in order to get kids back to school, or even those who have left school a while ago, to get them back to at least get a GED, because you think that's a huge foundation for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is what I tell, you know, I'm at the school board meeting every Monday night, and I tell them, you know, I go into the community and the churches and let them know, you know, you are the one that wasting your life, because, hey, the educators, they don't care whether you get it or not, they're going to get paid. And then when you get to be 40 and 50, then that's when you're trying to struggle to get an education. When you can already have it and have your life set out and your goals. But I think it's due to you don't have teachers that look like some of our kids. And you know, they feel like they don't give them the time of day or whatever. But I told them, you are there to learn, not to expect, you know, them to be a mother or father. You're there to learn, and that's what they are there to give you, a good education. That's what they take that education. That education is yours. You make that yours. You earned it.
Well, and any way that you can give a leg up, scholarships or anything for education is huge. And Kermit, that's why, of course, you're here, because we want to talk about the scholarship, underlying scholarship pageant that you have coming up on the 17th of February at Arsenal Island, and it really is a celebration of Black History Month.
Yes, and it's open. It's in honor of Black History Month, but it's open to anyone, and I invite all of the community to come out. And the scholarship is going to be based off of the proceeds that we receive. But what I wanted to do with the pageant, I wanted to work with the girls on the importance of education, self-esteem, and scholarship, and they can come showcase their talent. And with the way social media is now, and the way social media sometimes defines beauty, I want them to understand that not redefine beauty. I want to let them know that they are beautiful and they can showcase it, and that's what we want to do with the talent part of it.
Well, and so many pageants you have. It's a there's a swimsuit competition. You have business wear.
Business wear,
and that is excellent because that's going to get you a lot further in the world
than a swimsuit.
Yeah,
because you can carry that with you. And I wanted, since it's school age girls from 14 to 22, college age and high school, I want them to know how to present themselves in forums where if they're going to a meeting or if they're going to an interview or if they're just going to know how to dress appropriately to match the type of environment that they're in.
Yeah.
And swimsuits are appropriate at the pool, but business attire are appropriate at the office.
Well, and let's be honest, I mean, the more that you can learn poise and self-confidence and self-assuredness, you can go a long way. I mean, you're a good example of that. You can go a long way in the business world.
Yeah, absolutely. It would work wonders. Your first impression is very important, and so you want to come there and look the part, be confident. And I had this youth forum in February too. I do 3 events in February, and I did one for boys, which was the youth forum. And what I told them when they came in there, I was watching all of them as they came in, and the first thing I told them when they sat down, sit up straight, and I told all of them after they all sat down and stuff, I said, when you introduce yourself to someone, because not all of them did it, look them in the eye and give a firm handshake, because they'd come in and they'd be down like this, and that speaks volume when you walk into a room.
Well, and as you said, sit up straight, the slouching, it makes you look like you're lazy when you may not be.
Absolutely.
I also noticed that among the questions and among the topics that are going to be part of the scholarship pageant is also the hashtag #MeToo, which is really kind of underlying current events right now for the women of society.
Yep, I was real important that I wanted to touch bases with current events to make sure they're up on the news and following the news and what's going on nationally as well as locally.
And we're talking about black women in history as well at the pageant. You were saying, black history is really kind of being excluded from schools more and more. Taking one step further, the history of black women is almost not even ever mentioned.
I know. I know, but we set February aside at our church, and we honor black African Americans that done things. And I went to school at Russ College in Hollow Spring, Mississippi, and Ida B. Wells, that's where she was born. And so when my grandson went to school and they wanted him to talk about somebody, I said, well, you talk about Miss Ida B. Wells, because she's from Hollow Springs, Mississippi.
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah, and you couldn't be more proud.
No, I couldn't be more proud.
What is it that the people of the past are really, what do you want the kids of today to learn from the people of the past?
Let them know that education, self-esteem, and all that is important, because my foreparents couldn't go to school. And I'm talking about like in the 18th centuries.
Well, you can go well into the 19th century and the story was the same.
Yeah. But I am so proud. I got an aunt that will be 100 years old March 17th, and I am going to be in Pennsylvania to celebrate her birthday.
That is an amazing story. We have been talking also, because every time I have you on, it seems I have to talk to you about racial profiling, because it's usually part of the St. Ambrose study and the Davenport study. As you know, the the Iowa legislature once again is introducing a law that would restrict racial profiling as far as police work is concerned. Iowa, one of the few states that doesn't have that. Is that something the NAACP, I know on the statewide basis, has been very active. The Davenport chapter, has that been a major push as well?
Yeah, because I think they need that study, because when we first started and we approached the Davenport Police Department, they was kind of hesitant about it. But then, they saw it was good. So in from 2015 to now, it has gone from like 100% on racial profiling to like 29%.
Yeah, which is a great improvement.
It's a great improvement, but it can get better. Now they kind of want to cut it to 3 years for data instead of 1. But we meet next Monday.
You mean to release data every 3 years?
Every 3 years.
Because right now it's annual, yes,
yeah.
all right.
But Chris says that he can do it every year for the same price. So, hey, we won't.
Over at St. Ambrose, and he's doing a good work. And you must hear that constantly. I mean, like you said, you had the forum with boys, with
Right,
young men, and racial profiling. I mean, it just adds to a little indignity for people for no particular reason at times.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject, and it can make you feel uncomfortable. And sometimes, because I've been faced with it sometimes myself too, especially when I was a younger guy. It's just kind of being profiled just makes you uncomfortable, and in the community, you just want your kids to be relaxed and comfortable in the environment that they're in.
Well, and we're also talking about, because we keep talking about higher education and being comfortable in the environment, and we were looking at, for the state of Iowa, that all of the state universities, in northern Iowa State and Iowa, all have African American populations of 3% or less. Very, very much a minority, even though, you know, the population in the Quad Cities is what, about 11, 12% African American. You really feel like an outcast, even though I don't know.
You're in your home,
yeah, exactly.
But
how difficult is it for a black woman or a black girl to go to university system when it's so predominantly white?
Well, that's when your self-confidence and your self-esteem all take place, and you got to go there and be that trailblazer like our forefathers were, breaking new ground and being that trailblazer to go in and being there, and you got to be represented, and you got to make sure your voice is heard. Because if you go through your 4 years of college and you're very quiet and you don't make any movements, you don't establish the NAACP or any other African American type or minority type organizations, then that next group of kids that's coming after you are going to be faced with the same thing. But when you start establishing leadership roles in organizations, you can have an impact, and it may recruit other minorities too, and it gives you a sense of self-servitude to where you're giving back to the university, and in turn, you know, I believe that the more you give, the more you get in return. So,
but being strong is easier said than done,
right?
And it's a day-to-day fight for so many of the youth. I mean, what do you say about, like, keep up? You're doing fine. Keep going.
That's that intestinal fortitude that you got to dig deep, and you got to know that it's and I don't mean like a physical fight, but it's a fight. It's a challenge, and you have to be up to the challenge. I understand everybody's not as vocal, everybody's not as loud. Some people just want to come, do what they got to do, and get out of there.
Right.
But if we can just get one to get up and start representing, then that one can become two. And as you're doing that, as you're doing things and going through the community, you are influencing others.
And you're saying that you're hoping that the NAACP can open a chapter at the University of Iowa.
Oh, they are, because
And how important will that be?
Well, it would help the kids that's on campus, and it would help the people that's in the surrounding areas, because my son, he works in the school system in our city. So when we had a forum here, and this young man was here, I told him, you get in touch with him and you tell him that I said that he's going to be a part of it, and he's putting his kids, the youth, you know, so they can get a feel of what, you know, because nowadays kids don't realize how far we have come. But
they will, though.
Yeah, they will.
When they get older, because you didn't know it either at that age.
Well, you know what, though? My daddy was a minister.
Sure.
And my mom, they had a grocery store, and we had family time, and they would tell us, you know, and where I come from, they had signs say white and color. And, you know, I would tell my dad, I said, well, why don't you take us to the cream cup? All the other kids are going. He said, well, because if you fall out of line and somebody come up and grab you and they slap you real good, he said, I don't know what I'll do, so I would rather get ice cream from my store, take it home, and we sit down and we discuss things like that.
And that's the family unit, and understanding everything.
That's amazing.
One last pitch for you. Scholarship pageant's coming up. It's at Arsenal Island.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Saturday?
Saturday, the 17th of February at 5:30. Come support the young ladies as they showcase their talent and win scholarships for their education. And it's a great community event. It's going to be a great showcase. We actually, my daughters actually sing too, so they're not in the pageant because for obvious reasons, but they're actually going to be part of the entertainment. They're going to be singing as well. And my son, we talk about family, so I'm going to family here, and my son is actually going to be working with us as part of the production team.
That's excellent. Kermit Thomas, Vera Kelly, always good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we having our 100-year anniversary for the NAACP at the Figgets tomorrow.
Yeah, I know that. That'll be great.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Very good. Well, they decided to retire from the stage last year, but their music lives on. WQPT is proud of its association with the Westbrook Singers, the Quad City's first family of gospel music. We want to feature one of their performances that were part of a WQPT production. Here's the Westbrook Singers with I Believe.
Drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night a candle glows.
I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer can still be heard. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I believe that there's someone in that great somewhere who hears every word.
The Westbrook Singers with I Believe. This weekend is all about independent musicians and creating a unique music scene in the cities. Sean Moeller joins us in a moment to talk about this year's Gas Fest. But first, Laura Adams joins us with all the events you could also consider before going out and about.
This is Out and About for February 12th through 18th. Hi, I'm Laura Adams. It's time for the Outdoor Hunting and Fishing Show at the QCCA Expo Center. From boats and tackle to decoys and gear, it's the outdoor show you've been waiting for. Living Lands and Water presents the history of the organization and the story of Chad Pogracki at the Davenport Library, while the Viola Public Library holds their 10th annual Are You Smarter Than a Librarian? Trivia Night at the Viola Methodist Church Fellowship Hall. Join the 6th annual Cajun Cookout on Fat Tuesday at the Figge Art Museum on February 13th, or be in the audience for the 17th annual Great River Show Choir Invitational at the Adler Theater, February 16th and 17th. Do you have a child who loves to solve problems using their imagination and creativity? Then don't miss the Putnam Museum's Engineering Our World Family Fun Night on February 16th. Test your smarts at the Rock Island Music Association Trivia Night at the Plumbers and Pipefitters Hall in Rock Island on the 17th. And at Circa 21, it's Disney's Freaky Friday continuing their entertaining run on the main stage. And right next door at the Speakeasy catch Windy City Dueling Pianos on the 16th. Amazing Grace, a new Broadway musical, will be presented at the Heritage Center at the University of Dubuque February 13th. It's an unforgettable musical saga that captures the spirit of history's sweetest and most powerful sound, freedom. For more information, visit WQPT.org.
Last year, music producer Sean Moeller found a way to make the end of our long, hard winter a little cooler, in a good way. The Gas Feed and Seed Festival is taking over the village of East Davenport this weekend. It's part of Sean's continued effort to put the indie music spotlight on the cities. And joining us, of course, the founder of Moeller Nights, the creator of the Gas Festival, Sean Moeller. How you doing?
I'm good, Jim.
How is the concert going? I mean, booking 20 different acts, independent musicians, can be a little tough.
Yeah, it's all that stuff's done. So I think
they just have to show up.
We're in the different, tougher part now. But it's just really about wrangling cats.
Yeah,
a little bit. It's wrangling cats and then getting people excited to see all those cats.
Well, the Gas Fest started last year, right?
Yeah, last year.
What did you learn? How is this year different?
We learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
The kind of the focus of it was a little bit bigger for the first one last year. We had another one in November, and we kind of just scaled it and shaped it a little bit. We learned people really like seeing bands a couple times over the course of a few days, and that the bands really like hanging out and meeting and kind of collaborating and becoming friends with the other bands. And so the original idea of having it be this very community driven and kind of we're all doing this together spirit of it absolutely has kind of continued through. And so we kind of just tightened it up a little bit for this one. So there's a couple fewer bands, but a lot of them are playing multiple times. So if somebody likes somebody on Thursday, they get to see them again Friday or Saturday. And I think that's going to really make this thing, pop a little bit more.
Well, you said last year, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there's people that are only so cool. They only know so many of these indie groups. A lot of people, they don't know the musician. Yeah. So once you saw one and loved it, you said it spread by word of mouth.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of the intention of this thing all along was really to, me being able to invite a lot of these people that I thought were great, that I think other people would think are great, putting them in front of people and seeing who people reacted to. I mean, a lot of this is a social experiment for me, as far as seeing who does kind of latch on to which bands. And so from last February to this current period, I mean, a lot of those people that played that first fest have come back through, because I, witnessed in the reaction that people gave, that they'd like to see them again. And we've really been able to kind of nurture those people throughout the market now. And we get them bigger and bigger shows, and they have a place here. They kind of have a little bit of a second home here, and that's really kind of what I'm trying to build.
And that's what I wanted to point out, is because you wanted to have the Quad Cities have that certain kind of vibe, not only for the musicians to feel comfortable or welcome to come here, but also for the audiences to say, hey, this is the place to be.
It's one of those, it's really one of those wonderful intangibles that like people can latch on to an artist. Somebody that You know, look, a lot of these people are young bands. A few of them have kind of been around for a little while. I mean, there are some names on the lineup that people will be like, oh, I think I recognize that person. I don't know how, but I do. You know, it might pop up on a Spotify playlist or something like that, you know, that just everybody has in their world now. But it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, if you can kind of have that touch and that feel to somebody, you latch on. And if you kind of get into their world early on in their career, no matter how big they get, or, you know, they stop playing music or whatever, but if they continue on and start, you know, where lots more people know who that band is, you kind of have this relationship with them that is rooted here in the Quad Cities, that those bands remember because they appreciate the support. And, you know, when nobody else is supporting them, or very few people are supporting them, it goes a long way, and I think a lot of people gravitate towards that.
And it's the variety that you're looking at too, because it's not just one genre.
No,
I mean,
sure.
it's all different. And geographically, you can have a guy from LA following a guy from New York, following somebody from Vermont, or even you've got a few Canadians as well.
Sure, I mean,
you let them cross the border.
These are people. I mean, these are people from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the one thing that, you know, I don't know if you know, people really realize that. I mean, this is not a regional festival. This is these are people from every coast, middle, south, you know, everywhere. And, you know, a lot of them are driving in special for this. I mean, the rapper from LA, he's flying in special. It's his first ever festival. He's excited to do it. I mean, I just booked him last week. It was a very last minute thing. But I put out an invitation. I said, you know, this is what I have left in my budget. If you can make it work, we'd love to have you. And he bought a flight, and he's coming for a couple of days. So,
well, and the other key thing for you is that, I mean, you've kept it as a low price for the audience, because you want them to get a sampling.
I really do. You know, I mean, tickets are $45 for 3 days, so you get to see, you know, 23, 24 bands for $45, and I don't know, there's not better values you know, than that.
Did you notice where people came from last time, your audience? I mean, were they all from the Quad Cities, or did you, and I'd assume you're pulling from Iowa City and maybe some of the...
Yeah, we're getting some people from Iowa City. You know, I think we get some Iowa City and some Dubuque. You know, for last year, we had people drive in from, I think, Atlanta and Tennessee, you know, like,
because word of mouth works for the audience as well as for the bands.
It really does. You know, if there's certain people booked that, you know, a lot of these people playing this festival are only playing this festival. They're driving in here special for it, flying in special for it. So, you know, even people in Chicago, they aren't able to see these bands right now. You know, they might have to wait, you know, later this year before they actually tour. So, I mean, this is a special show. This is a special festival where this isn't just somebody passing through who's probably going to play Des Moines or Omaha the next night. Like, no, this is it. This is your chance to see them. Yeah. So it's exciting. I think we have kind of a, you know, a wide range of you know, proximity that people are coming from.
Sean Moeller joining us. Thanks so much. We do appreciate it. We want to remind you that tickets are still on sale. Just go to MoellerKnights.com for details and also to get those tickets. WQPT is doing its part to support the military men and women in the cities who are serving our nation. We call it Embracing the Military, and next Thursday, the Arsenal Fire Station will open its doors to fathers and their children as part of the ongoing fatherhood program on Arsenal Island. Military dads could bring their kids to the fire station Thursday, 5:30 to 7:30. They get pizza, tour of the station. You can contact the Arsenal's MWR office to make reservations. On the air, on the radio, on the web, and on your mobile device. Thanks for taking time to join us as we talk about the issues on the cities.
Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Sing Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.